Hi! You grab your Stamparatus, the marvelous new Stampin' Up! Stamp positioning tool, only to discover, ruh-roh, you let permanent black ink dry on one of the plates. Is it possible to get that off? Of course, it'd be a lot easier to just clean it right away, but hey, things happen, especially when we're excited to finish a handmade card. I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 17 years, I've been teaching others how to create their own hand-stamped smiles. So come and watch, and I'll share with you the steps I took to try to remove the permanent black ink. This is the Stampin' Up! Stamparatus, their marvelous stamp positioning tool. And so it comes with two hinged plates that you put in place. Let me give you a quick demonstration. So you put your cardstock on there, and you've got a couple magnets to hold your paper or cardstock in place. And then your stamp, you position it just where you want it. And then you close that lid, and it clings to the lid. Right? And so now after inking, it's going to stamp right where you want it. Okay, so when you ink it up, and I'm using a permanent black ink, now this one's bigger, so it didn't happen, but what can happen is the ink gets on the plate. And so when it's fresh like this, my first choice is the Stampin' Mist. I know this is, let me move this out of the way so you can see, that it's a mild cleanser. It cleans, and it's an effective cleaner for our stamps, but it cleans and conditions them. All right, so we'll go ahead and spray this on. So when it's fresh, totally different story. Look at that. A little bit of elbow grease, and we can get that off of there. Okay, see a little bit right there. So it may take a little bit of work, but like I said, when it's fresh, totally different story. All right, so, but here's one that I did weeks ago, and I stamped it on both sides because one side you can feel the raised grid and the other one is smooth. And so when I tried my Stampin' Mist, it wasn't touching it. Well, uh-oh, let's make sure I've got the right one. I'm sure this right there, you can even feel it. So the Stampin' Mist, and this has been on here for a few days or even a week. So I really wanted to let it dry to have the same conditions I did before. I thought, oh boy, I sure hope I haven't ruined my new Stamparatus, because I don't want marks like that on there. So then my second choice to try was the Novus Plastic Clean and Shine. For the Misty, this was recommended. So I put that on. And a little bit, well, I thought, oh boy, I have really done it this time. Okay, I mean, just barely, if anything was coming up. Okay, so then the Stays-On Cleaner, because this will get off that ink. I thought, okay, let's give it a try. Now I can see, I think, a little bit of color. I want to make sure I'm not working on the wrong stain. Let's see if any of that's coming up. Okay, that's starting to help. There we go. There we go. Let's try some more. Let's see if we can finish getting this up. I looked up the ingredients, and it said most of the ingredient was a solvent. I don't know exactly what that means, but that got it. I'm like, okay, good. So this is on the raised side. Let's try the smooth side. And we'll start again. We'll start again with the Stampin' Mist to see if it's different on one side or the other. I don't recall right now which one. Okay, and so it's not touching it. The Stampin' Mist, like I said, my first choice. The Novus, again, not touching it. So I ideally, you don't want to let it get to this point. The Stays On cleaner is cutting through it. Let's see if we can get that up. All right, so I got to this point and I wasn't able to get every last bit off. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit right here. Oh, there it is, it's coming. Now, maybe my stain was longer and neither one of those worked for me. So what I did try was some rubbing alcohol and it came right up. Then I called Stampin' up and I said, can we use alcohol on this? And she says, can I put you on hold? And she came back and said, it should be fine. Do not soak it in it. And I thought, well, no, that, you know, I would never pour a whole bunch in a bowl and soak it. But if we were to put a little bit on, let's say, a cotton ball and clean it up, she said we should be fine. And so then, only after that did I think to get out my directions. I saved them. And the directions do say to clean it with a mild cleanser, such as a Stampin' Mist or baby wipes. Do not use harsh cleansers such as bleach or alcohol. So when I talked to demonstrator support, they said, you know, a little bit of alcohol would be okay, just don't soak it in there. The directions say otherwise. So for that, use your best judgment. The Stays On, I don't know if that's considered harsh or not. So after doing it, because obviously we want to get it up, you know, if we do leave it on there, I would do the steps I did first. Let's go from the least harsh up to the most harsh. But then when you're done, how about we go ahead and use the Novus on there, because it does clean and shine it really well. You know, I think that would get up any residue from any of the harsh cleaners. And then, like I said, just buff it out and leave it all nice and shiny. So use your best judgment. The best thing, honestly, just clean it up right away so you're not in the position of needing to use something harsher, even up to the point of alcohol, even though this time I didn't, so I was really pleased. And so if you clean it right away, you won't need to get to the harsher, but if you do, just use as little as you absolutely need, and then I would go ahead and get it right off right away. You know, go ahead and polish it up with something milder, the Stampin' Mist or the Novus. Our goal will be to clean our Stamparatus plates right away, but just in case we get excited and forget, we got a couple things to try. And if you'd like more of my stamping tips, I invite you to subscribe to the Stampers Insider. It's your free stamping source for inspiration, information, and ideas. Just go to www.thestampersinsider.com to subscribe now. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.